Tuesday, February 4th, took us to the fifth race at PARX, where my top pick, number 2, El Delio, went off at 9.9 to 1. Ran a good race. Was really finding his best stride late in the stretch, going a mile and 70 yards, but finished third in a field of 6. There were a couple scratches, which brought the field size down to 6. So good pick. Horse ran well, just not quite well enough. So we go over to the bankroll and add that $8 loss, and we move on to Wednesday, where we will stay at PARX and go to race number 9 at PARX. And in race number 9, my pick is number 1, Harrigan. Now, it's this race is a mile and 70 yards, optional claimer $75,000 for 3-year-olds, which never won a race other than maiden claiming or starter, or state bred, or which have never won 2 races, or a claiming price of $75,000. So this 3-year-old colt, again, I still consider them to be 2-year-olds until we reach May 1st. But this 3-year-old colt by Medaglia d'Oro ran December 30th, made his career debut December 30th, going 7 furlongs over a soppy track at PARX. Went off at 7-2 in a field of 7, and got steadied early on in the shoot, and obviously found his stride, because got into the stretch battling for the lead going into the stretch, and then drew away to win by 5 1/4 lengths. Certainly a very nice debut. Has come back and posted 3 breezing works since, and now stretches out to this mile and 70 yards. Looking at the sire report, the Medaglia d'Oro has produced 8 winners of this type of race over the last 3 years, and this is a non-maiden dirt race for younger horses, and again, younger meaning before May 1st of the 3rd year. So it's only for horses that have already broken their maiden and still in the young category. And look at that, 8 winners, all 8 have come at 8 to 8.5 furlongs, with this race being a mile and 70 yards, which is 8.3 furlongs. All 8 winners, or 100%, came when the purse was greater than $50,000, or 50,000 or up. And the layoff figure, 322, or better than 3 times the average for those winners coming on 37 to 60 days rest. Now, this colt is on 37 days, so it's right on that line of the layoff categories, but still gets in there. And the maturity factor, the far right column, is a ratio of non-maiden winners in the younger category over the total number of maiden winners. So on average, horses that break their maiden before May 1st of their 3rd year, only 1 out of 3 go on to win another race while still in the young category. right? So you'd have one non-maiden winner over three maiden winners. That would equal 33. Is really, I just list the maturity factor as a whole number, but that's really how it's calculated. And so Medaglia d'Oro was slightly above the average at 38. You have to remember that includes both dirt and grass races. I combined them all together in the young category to uh, uh, come up with the maturity factor figure. So we go over to the broodmare sire report, and the broodmare sire is Distorted Humor, who's had 26 previous winners over the last 3 years of this type of race, and 27% have come at 8 to 8.5 furlongs, which is exactly average. 46% when the purse is 50,000 or higher. The layoff figure is 83, or slightly below average for the 37 to 60 day category, and the maturity factor is 31, or just very slightly below average. So all decent and passing grades, easily passing grade stats for Distorted Humor as the broodmare sire. And we go over to the trainer Michael Pino, only had two winners of this type of race over the last 3 years. So the stats are based on the 134 total dirt wins. And you see the distance of 35%, the purse of 18%, and the layoff figure of 131 are all perfectly fine. There's nothing to really be a concern with. Um, the big question is, what kind of price will we get on Harrigan? Listed 5 to 2 on the morning line. I think if you get 7 to 5, it will be a bargain. And I think this is one of the plays I'd be very happy to play at 7 to 5. So we'll see how that plays itself out. And I was trying to remember where the name Harrigan. It's like that's from a song, a movie somewhere. And sure enough, yeah, I remember James Cagney, Yankee Doodle Dandy. Harrigan, that's me. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.